heard about this hot new thing called AI agents, and you want to get in on the action.
First, you'll want to initiate your multi-agent orchestration layer. Then layer memory, traces, yeah. That's when most people give up.
That's why we made Toolhouse, the first agentic backend as a service,
Which is startup speak for, we did the hard stuff,
so you can get to the fun part.
Toolhouse is the agentic backend that's already wired up. Just define your agent, deploy it, done.
Toolhouse gives you the whole stack: RAG, memory, traces, edge functions, and more.
If my grandma wanted to deploy an LLM agent, she'd use Toolhouse.
Okay, sweetie, now what?
Whether you're building a chat assistant, a micro software as a service, or your next hackathon flex, Toolhouse has your back because it was built by developers for
Developers.
Exactly. So stop overthinking. Start building with Toolhouse.
And we are live. Hey, YouTube.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. Thank you for joining our 201 certification. We're so excited to talk about this today. We're really looking forward to getting into it. And thank you for taking time out of your Monday to join us. We're live here at Toolhouse HQ. We have some folks in Discord, some folks in YouTube. So we want to make sure that we've kind of unified across both platforms. If anybody's having issues, please put them in the chat. We have plenty of fixes and people will be standing by. So if your sound is not working, if you aren't able to see slides, just let us know and we will handle it.
Let's go. We have a lot of YouTube comments. I love it. Where are you guys joining us from? What time is it over there? Hey, Bean. Hey, Danielle.
Hi, everybody. Good morning.
Steve Ballmer seemed real. Let's go. Developers. Let's go. Toolhouse, Season 2. Welcome to the stream, guys.
Are most people based in the US, based in India? Can you put where you're joining from in the chat? US, okay. Yeah, absolutely. India, okay. Well, awesome, guys. So we will give people a couple more minutes to join. We want to make sure that the majority of people have a chance to join and we can all start at once. But for now, if you have a project that you're working on, if you have something that you are invested in, that you've put energy and time into, take a second to put that in the chat and share what you're passionate about and what you are working on and building so far.
Wow, it's really cool. Australia, Istanbul, India, US, Pakistan. Nigeria, let's go.
Wow, okay. Human, when I shift this over, are you able to see that change populate in StreamYard?
Maybe change the first slide. Let's see.
I just did. Can you see it?
Oh,
I
no.
don't think so. Okay. We're going to make sure that this is working before we get started.
Yeah, folks on Discord have our YouTube link, so we can focus on what we're doing on YouTube.
Yeah, I would prefer that because I
built AI enablement training for enterprise. Danielle, that's very cool.
Very cool.
We're going to share slides in a bit.
Human, are you able to see this change?
Perfect. Do it one more time.
Okay, I can see it. Perfect. Bam.
Awesome.
Okay, everyone. So let's talk through what we're going to be getting into today, why we would take time to join, why we would go through this process at all, why right now, what is unique and special about this time period, and what it means in general for your business and specific to you, specific to whatever you're working on, whatever you are building. So a little bit of an overview. On today's agenda, we're going to talk through the really big picture, like why businesses in general are leveraging AI automation, what it's doing for their business, what it can help do for yours, what AI agents specifically can do in terms of saving time, saving resources, and better enabling business processes. Then we're going to go through kind of an exercise. So this is obviously our opening day. This is a week of programming that we've put together for you guys. A lot of different things about building bespoke workflows, leveraging existing tooling, all that kind of stuff. So we are going to work with you to think through your unique business, the unique use cases that you might have, and write down areas or veins of your business that would be really ripe for automation, because we don't want to jump the gun. We don't want to invest time and resources in automating a process that might be better done by a human than a computer. Then we're going to get set up. We're going to walk you through Toolhouse, our tool library, do a little bit of a live demo just to get you ready to use the tooling that we have available. We're going to talk briefly about monetization and in-platform monetization tools and options. And then we're going to do like a mini project with a couple of key takeaways. So that's overall the overview. It's going to take between 45 and 50 minutes. And then we're going to have 10 minutes where we answer questions, troubleshoot issues. We have a little bit of time for you guys to speak amongst yourselves. But first, as we are getting set up, let's make sure that everybody is in the Discord. So we have a wonderful community here on Discord. There's many people building different projects, doing builds together, working on kind of collaborative efforts. So we have a link that Juan is going to share right here in the chat across both platforms. Everybody, please hop into that Discord specifically for this week of programming. Questions, issues, all of that is going to be put into the Toolhouse 201 channel. And we will have people looking at that and monitoring that to make sure that we get those questions answered. So this is the best place to kind of, if you have issues, if anything's going on, make sure that you're in our Discord. So before we think through tooling, before we think through any specifics of business use cases, let's talk about the big picture. Put in the chat, just so we have kind of an overview. You can post on YouTube, you can post in our Discord, in either stream. What are you? What stage are you? Are you meeting customers where they are with a big CRM of active deals? Are you at the pre-deal stage where you're ideating and building your business? Have you not built anything yet? Let us know kind of what is the spread of where people are right now across the board.
We have been as entrepreneur on YouTube, and we got Gigo really excited about a week of content.
What type of entrepreneur? What do you do?
All right, we got Gigo in seed stage of idea, waiting for funding. All right, how about participate more, guys? What stage are you guys at? What are you doing with AI? What are you hoping to achieve?
More. What are you building specifically?
I have an idea, but haven't built it.
Okay. Okay, well, I guess this would be a good opportunity to kind of refine your idea and work on building something if you think that you're going to be able to do that. So we kind of have 4 stages. You know, we have idea stage, which it sounds like people are in. We have build stage, but pre-launch. We have launch, but doing everything manually. And then we have scaling, but in need of automation. So today we want to start with a few useful definitions so that everybody's on the same page. So these are terms that I think everybody has probably heard. Agents, large language models, prompt, but we want to provide a little bit of a definition before we get into it. So who knows what an AI agent is? It's really just a system that uses AI to autonomously take actions on your behalf, often pre-programmed actions. That doesn't just answer questions, but it does things. We also have an API, an application programming interface, and that puts 2 pieces of software together and allows them to talk to each other. So you can kind of think about it like a bridge where your agent can connect to Gmail, Drive, etc. We also have a tool or an integration, which has the specific capacity to plug into an agent that can fetch emails or create a file, and Toolhouse has 40 plus of these. There's also large language models, and that's kind of the brain behind things like ChatGPT or Claude. It can read, it can reason, it can generate text. Finally, we have prompts, and prompts are instructions that you give your AI. Better prompts, usually better results. You can think of these kind of like job descriptions for your agents. Finally, we have monetization that allows you to turn agents into products that people pay for, accept payment. A monetization tool could be something like Stripe that allows you to charge your customers. Toolhouse now has monetization tools that let you set subscriptions directly from the dashboard. We kind of have a spectrum here where, we had regular chatbots in like 2023, 2022. We could ask questions, get them answered. We had chatbots as part of customer service workflows for like a decade. We also have automations. They are a rule-based process that does one thing. It often does it on a schedule, and it does it really consistently. But now we also have AI agents that can be proactive, they can learn, they can adapt, and they can take or anticipate need into account when executing on an action. So these businesses are some use cases that I've brought together for us. Who has heard of one or two of these businesses? Put in the chat which you're familiar with.
While you guys type down, I'd like to mention my favorite comment on YouTube. What are AI agents? And Daniel says, AI plus tools. That's very efficient to describe AI agents. Really nice. We got some people built something with AI, really nice. And we got still some people that are not familiar with AI, so haven't built anything yet. I just wanted to acknowledge you guys on the chat. Keep it coming. What do you guys use? Zapier? Do you use Replit, Notion? What are your daily tasks on these services? Have you built an agent for these? Heard of Replit and Notion? All of them. Wow.
Yeah. These are really large scale companies, and they each have developed bespoke, specific AI-powered automations that connect to workflows they were already providing to customers. So, Replit uses AI ghostwriters and debugs internal production code. They have much faster deployment, and their developers are able to ship their code faster. Intercom has a financial agent that resolves support tickets. And so humans only need to be in the loop when something is outside the scope of what we'd expect for a support ticket. Notion has AI assistant that summarizes, writes, organizes documentation. Klarna has an AI agent that handles 2/3 of customer service chats. And Zapier has automations that connect the variety of apps and kind of bridge between services. So I think each of the people in here are working on idea, building their idea out. There's a couple of entrepreneurs with us, but think about your average work week. What takes the time that isn't building your product? Make a list and share in the chat of what tasks that take up your week or that eat up your time are not directly building your product or building your strategy. Which do we have? Do people have to handle emails? Do people have to handle responding to interested parties or customers, organizing docs? Do people have to do manual operations like invoicing, or who is working on their taxes this week, for example? What about marketing? What about outreach? What about crafting ads and sharing them across platforms? Client calls, performance. Okay. What type of performance do you need to track? Of like your employees? Okay. So one kind of good starting place is to think about what exactly takes up your time. It could be a task that is the most time consuming, or simply a task that you like the least. And starting there, thinking about how that task could be automated, improved, etc. So for people who are participating now, do we have a solid and concrete idea of what the business function is? Marketing, operations, prospecting. Okay, that's a very time-intensive one. Absolutely. For SEM, building creative for social media ads. Okay. Debugging code. Is that your business function or is that a task that you have to do? Okay, employee deliverables week in, week out. Got it. Okay. So after that, we kind of want to ask which business description would have an AI agent help you understand your needs. So of the task that you just described, how could you describe that or build that description out so that it would be thorough enough for an AI agent to understand the gist of what you're trying to do? So, for example, if your main job functionality was monitoring employee deliverables to make sure that employees are delivering at a very high level, you could say, I manage a team of 4, week in, week out. I oversee, let's say, 20 different assignments being turned in. I monitor them for quality and I make adjustments where needed. Okay, yeah, voice input is amazing, and I think voice input is really helpful. I really like Whisperflow, or what's the other Mac one? There's like a Mac specific voice AI. And then of the tasks that you've described here, what is most automatable? Let's think through that. So we kind of have a spectrum of automation when we think about it. We have these, human drivers in our work. It might be for ego, it might be for mastery, for connection, but we have human drivers that motivate people to get work done. Some people are obsessed with getting better. Some people really enjoy being connected or expressing themselves. But of most of the tasks that you guys just described, maybe they fit neatly in one of these categories, but maybe they do not. When we're thinking about monitoring code for issues, maybe we want to be an incredible coder and it's part of mastery, part of our growth, part of our journey. We're very motivated to do it, but maybe not. And for tasks that are very far outside any of these categories of human drivers that are just not that motivating outside of, I have to do this or I'll get fired, tasks that lack kind of innate reward, those would be tasks that are ripe for automation. So there's many tasks in businesses right now, but some of the low-hanging fruit, if you will, are frequently tasks that are repetitive, that are kind of boring, and that are not particularly flashy or human-focused. These tasks would be excellent choices for handing off to an agent. Also, we can think in terms of expense. So for tasks where there's a lot of time being sunk in each week, let's say email triage or file management, manual reporting, calling back your customers, we can think how many hours a week is this spending? And for the employee rate that I'm paying, how much does it cost to have this done? Of these tasks, the ones that are the absolute best candidates for AI automation are, in general, menial, repetitive tasks that take a high amount of time with very low human driver kind of motivational status. They're boring, they're repetitive. And of these, can we think of any other strong use cases, strong examples in our own businesses of tasks that would be ripe for AI automation? Put them in the chat. Finance stuff is a good idea. Okay, keeping up with AI news, meeting prep, an MCP and Google Workspace to review past meetings and email, that's great. Voice input, just letting it rip, finding references for ad creatives. Yeah, all of that would make sense. Maybe finding references for ad creatives would have like a little bit more of like a human element to it. That totally makes sense. Okay, promoting apps, creating credible content, posting and replying, great. Reporting can take up a huge amount of time. Yeah, absolutely, especially in environments where, you have a really high compliance burden. Okay. Reviewing analytics inside of a consumer app. Okay. I actually think probably one of the best examples that we can kind of talk through in the coming weeks is that, everybody talks about like dashboards that show, actionable insights. But I actually think that if you have a few analytics that you really want to keep top of mind for a team, there's really compelling automations that you can make that integrate within your Slack, your internal workspaces, ping you updates. I think that's a great example. Letter issuance. Okay, absolutely. Filling in timesheets. These are amazing examples, you guys. These are incredible examples. All of these are absolutely ripe for automation. Incredible. So let's specifically think through your business use case for your business. Let's think through the tooling required. Is it Notion? Is it Google Sheets? Is it, let's say, Excel? Put in the chat which business programs you're using for this monotonous task. Like for timesheets, what HR software are you using? If it's for analytics, where is the data from those analytics coming from? List these out really concretely. Any tool that you're checking to get this information you need to execute the task, because we're going to go into a tooling library later, and we're going to see if there is a pre-existing tool that can automate in whatever software you're using. So put them in the chat. And Oman, let's see if there's like something most people are kind of. Google Workspace. Okay. Notion. We definitely have integration with Notion. Granola. MS Excel. Okay, Microsoft. I think Copilot less so, but absolutely for like Google Sheets or Excel. Okay, perfect. Yeah, we're gonna make recordings available. That's why we're using StreamYard, so that you guys can go through after and take a look. So this is the next part, and this we're gonna take a 3-minute break, and we're gonna ask you guys to think through each of these steps one by one, because automation flows are not complex. We can take care of the building, the teaching component. What we ask businesses to do is think through really carefully for their architecture, for their system, which we are unfamiliar with. Let's put a specific descriptor next to each of these categories. What is the trigger for the action? What input does the agent need? What is the process? What does the agent actually do? What's the result? And then what is the action? What happens next? So we are going to go through and we're going to talk through a specific use case and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from trigger to action. And then we're going to ask all of you to go through the same exact process for your use cases. So let's think through Lisa's example. She said, we're going to review analytics inside of a consumer app. So Lisa, can you tell us how often we're reviewing analytics for this app? Like, is this a weekly review? Is it daily? Daily. Okay. Is there any specific trigger that means review is required? Like, is it if, user minutes drop past a certain cliff, or is it just kind of like a habitual daily thing where the team gets together to see the performance of the last 24 hours? Okay, we're just going to make a guess about Lisa's app. We're going to guess that Lisa is extremely on top of it and she checks the performance of her consumer app every single day. So in this case, the trigger, we could say, would just be it's 9 a.m. It's 9 a.m. Eastern time. We're going to kick it off. Input, what does the agent need? So specifically in this case, I'm not sure what tooling Lisa might be using, but let's say that the input for this agent is just all of the use time, all the minutes from the previous 24 hours, or maybe all of the executions that her app has run, each of the runs. And that is data contained in a spreadsheet. So the input would be data contained, let's say, in a big data lake, in an SQL database, in a spreadsheet, however your company handles it. What does the agent do? Okay, so it's a daily thing where we're trying to look at the drop off from beginning to end. It's a product recommendation engine. Very cool, Lisa. And we want to make sure that people are moving through the flow of the experience as well as actually engaging with the recommendations. Okay, so I guess what exactly would be the output variable? Would it be number of people who have engaged or clicked on a product recommendation? Is it people who completed the entire flow? Is it number of people who failed at some point throughout that flow? We'll see. So for the trigger, we have a time, 9 a.m. Eastern. For the input, we have data. And we're going to say, just for the sake of the argument, that this data is contained in a SQL database and that there is a prompt set up where it's pulled out of the data lake. And then the process, what the agent does, is going to be Lisa's KPI if people successfully buy the recommended products at the end. There are multiple ways to engage on the recommendations page. So let's say that the output is product sale number, or number of sales for that 24-hour period. The result would be just a percentage or a number of sales. And let's say what happens after that is a team email is sent out across the entire org that lets us know the performance of the last 24 hours. So if we think through specifically our tooling, we would need to connect our agent to a time trigger, to the data source, to the actual output calculation, and then to email so that the team can be notified. This is kind of a useful way to go through and make sure that we can think about each step of the process. But I want each of you to go through and write out for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 each step of your process. And we're going to take a second to think through some of the best examples. Responses from customers? Responses from customers, can you be more specific here? Let's think through exactly what is the trigger, what is the input, what is the action, and then what tooling is involved. Because for each of these, this makes it really easy to build out and think through how we want to design our agent within the Toolhouse infrastructure and ecosystem.
And for people who are trying to join our Discord, use the link that's on your screen, discord.toolhouse.ai. You should get to in our Discord server.
Okay. Perfect. Does anyone have a really good example? Let's think through maybe an example that has a more complex querying process in it. what we probably, one strong example might be every 24 hours, we want to check if there were any customer service queries. We want to check our email inbox, so we're going to connect an integration with that. If the agent sees any unopened customer email queries, then we're going to allow it to answer. And if there is an issue, escalate to our escalate to our customer success, and then send an email to the team about kind of a summary of what the most common customer service gripes are of the last 24 hours. And that would be kind of one of the flows that we could design. So within that, we are going to go and talk a little bit about the blueprint you've created, how that can translate into Toolhouse tooling and the agents we have available kind of as pre-made options, and then getting set up using the Toolhouse platform, and just like a little bit of, kind of onboarding stuff so that you're ready to actually build it out. So we've actually simplified a lot what you kind of need to do in Toolhouse. It really is as easy as signing up like any other web service and making an account. And Human is going to share a link here, but the step is really, it's no more complex, it's no more difficult than just registering and then taking a look at our internal tool library and selecting tools that would fit within the blueprint you've just created. Daniel Green, that's great. Okay. Calendar, review previous meetings, scrape LinkedIn. We have a really strong LinkedIn scraper. Google search for company news and updates, generate personalized meeting bullets. Okay, perfect. This is a really good one. This is a perfect example. Human, can you offer a little bit of support, or do you want to move into kind of a demo here and take people? Okay, perfect.
Course, yeah.
I'm going to unshare my screen and I'm going to pass it off to Human for a second to get you set up with the Toolhouse platform and really familiar with the tooling we offer.
Let's go. Cool. Time for some hands-on experimentations. Danielle, I kept your comment here because it's really on the point. You're on fire tonight. But yeah, Toolhouse works with just describing what you wrote down on Discord, on YouTube. So you can put that in our servers, in our agent builder, and you can create an agent that does all of this for you without touching any code or deploying anything. That was a quick spoilers. But you're seeing my screen, right, Lou? You can see the Toolhouse.
Yeah, perfect.
Perfect. All right, guys. So if you don't have a Toolhouse account, you need to join Toolhouse. It's completely free. So let me actually put you guys here so I can read the chat from here and show you the screen. All right. So this is the sign up page. Lou, can you mute yourself?
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. So this is the app. If you haven't signed up, you need to sign up using the link, join the Toolhouse.ai, and this is our landing page. So you can see a couple of use cases that we do, the community, the pricing, or our documentations from here, and you can create your free account by just clicking on the Start Building button. If you haven't signed up, you need to click this to sign up, and you just need an email or GitHub or your, a GitHub account to just connect and create your first account. When you sign up, you're going to see Toolhouse. It's there. Everything is done for you. So whatever you know about Toolhouse, agents, RAG, tools, MCP, let me know in the chat if you guys heard about that. Do you guys know what RAG is? Do you know what MCPs are? How serious is your building with AI? I know we have like a couple of very nice mix of non-builders and builders, but I'm going to go really back to basics. So excuse me for doing that. We're going to do everything from the scratch, showing you how the platform works, where is your API key, how you can create that agent, what is monetization about, what are tools. So we're going to talk about this stuff in the next 20 minutes or so. So again, if you haven't signed up, this is the sign up link. You can follow along with me as I do it. All right. First thing you need to change is the light mode, right? Do we have any light mode fans in the chat? I prefer dark. You can just click on your username, go to setting, and set it to dark mode. First step done. Building level less than Orly. Wow. That's a great comment. I love that. I heard about them. Nice. Team system. All right. I like the vibes here. I'm going to show you how Toolhouse works. So if you click on home, you're going to see this orb. We call this orb Vibra. This is actually what we launched a couple of weeks ago. So now you can build agents with just voice and let it rip, just like Danielle said. So you can click on build and create agents with Vibra. Vibra builds the agents for you, connected to right tools, so you don't have to worry about, figuring out the things you shouldn't be, spending too much time on, like tools, like rack, like memory, all the good AI agentic stuff you hear out there. So when you click the orb, you have two options: voice or keyboard. You can type down or talk to Vibra, whatever you like. If you want to drop any files for your agents, you can just use this attachment icon, use Drive, or just paste the URL or just drop a file. That's it. I'm going to show you how you can actually build agents that really matter and companies would want to use them for their businesses in the next days. But this is the whole flow of agent building. Talk to Vibra, use the attachments if you have any files, so you can use RAG, kind of limit the generation of your agent. So this way you have this document that's, that AI chatbot is really specialized on. Think of it as customer service or HR documents that your Toolhouse agent can read off and serve people the questions and answers. So that's how easy you can build agents. You don't have to figure out vector databases. You don't have to figure out really complicated mathematics stuff. Then when you do this stuff, and when you do it without Toolhouse, actually, when you want to figure out all of this stuff, you have to figure out about hosting and deploy them. So you have to think about like a whole series of questions and answers you have to go through to make sure people can see your apps, can interact with your apps. Next step after that would be to figure out traceability. Are my agents doing things correct? Are they, reliable? So everything is built in Toolhouse. All right, we've seen the flow, but I want to onboard you to the platform. So from day 2, day 3, when we are getting into Toolhouse, we all know what's where, what is doing what, and we know the functionalities of Toolhouse. So I showed you Vibra, the orb. We can talk to it or type to it to build agents. Very cool. Next thing we have on the left side is Agents tab. This is where your agents get built. So whatever you build, they get listed here, and you can go through, what's beneath the hood for each agent. We're going to cover that in the next days. But so far you can see I have 716 agents. So if you're a Toolhouse user and you're watching me right now, type down how many agents you built so far. Yeah, this is the number of your agents. This is where it gets built. And if you notice, some of my agents have a green label. This is because I enabled monetization for my agents. So for this web search to Google Sheets agents, I enabled monetization for $20. So monetization is something we're pushing, and you're in the right place, right time to be in the action for that. So we are creating monetization so you can actually make money and make passive income from your agents. So Toolhouse, if you want to explain it to a friend, explain it to a coworker, or whoever you want to talk about Toolhouse with, you would say Toolhouse is a company, is a platform that lets you build, ship, and earn. So we're all about that. Anything AI related, we got your back. So this is the Agents tab. Your agents get listed here. You can go beneath the hood, see what's really happening in your agents. You can click Show Details to see what's going on in each agent. So you see agent details, nice category on the agent details, monetization, tools, wipe code, files, API access. We're going to cover everything about these sections in a bit. But this is where you can change your agents. Add a file, add a tool, build a website, communicate to your agents with an API. Next thing is tools, something that Lou mentioned today. So Tools Gallery is where we host all of our tools that you can use right out of the bat with Toolhouse agents. So if you want to build an agent that connects to Airtable, you would just go to Toolhouse, say, hey, Toolhouse, I'm not a technical person. I want to build something that works with Airtable and I need it now. And boom, You get your agents get connected to that MCP server. Everything is nicely hooked for you, and it's deployed, so you can share it with your boss, share it with your friend or customer. This is the tool gallery. If you want to read more about this, if you want to search, we have a nice Search X tool, kind of like a premium tool we have. It's really nice. I definitely recommend it for you guys to use it. I'm going to put it actually in the YouTube comments so you guys can read it out. But this is the tools page. It tells you what the tool is, what it does for you, and what the tool needs to perform actions. So this tool is fairly a simple tool. It just needs a query. You're searching Twitter, scraping Twitter for posts, and you need a query. It makes sense. And you can kind of configure what are the max results in your agents. So 10 tweets, 20 tweets, 5 tweets, you can straightly configure that by a prompt. Are you guys following along? Am I going too fast? Is it okay? Time for chat. Is it connected that easy? I love this. Yes, that's how easy it is. We got some wows. Good speed. All right, I love the engagement. Let's go. So monetization tab, that's the next tab. So monetization is just what I talked to you about. I highly encourage you to enable monetization for your agents. You can just click on the button to enable monetization. So I have an X agent. If I want to enable monetization, I would just click the monetization, and you can actually see yourself on the waiting list. So once you're in, you get an email that we are on with monetization, and if you're on a higher place, you get notified sooner. That makes sense, right? So everything is there in the monetization tab if you want to make money from your agents. And one of the last things I want to show you from the platform, and I'm going to give some time, show you a cool demo, and we continue from day 2 if it's okay. So logs is where you can trace your agents. So if you have been around, if you know about AI agents or LLMs, saw things on Instagram about AI agents being right or wrong, you heard about hallucinations. So one of the fixes to hallucinations is, what is hallucination? What is your take on hallucinations? I don't want to go too speedy on this. Do you guys know what hallucinations are? What genius AI builders did to prevent that? How do you guys see hallucinations? All right, so hallucinations is, before MCPs, before tools, we relied on the knowledge, AI with lie confidence. That was great timing. That's exactly what a hallucination is. White lies. Nice. Okay, you guys were trolling me for a second. That's really nice. So yeah, this is what happens when AI gets things wrong because it doesn't have the live connection to data. So geniuses at Anthropic were like, let's create a protocol, call it MCP, Model Context Protocol, and have these servers exposed to LLMs so we can get reliable information. One really quick example of what MCPs or tools or function calling APIs, however you like to call these, is to ask an LLM to calculate time. So your AI agent can use code interpreter to write some code to figure out time. You want to know about weather. What's the weather here, ChatGPT? Right now, it probably would give you the weather, but using tools and stuff. But AI is trained on a bunch of stuff, bunch of data from internet, and they don't have live access. That's why we build tools. That's why we have logs. That's why we have traceability to figure out where AI agent or AI LLM went wrong. And this is built in Toolhouse. So you can see and review all of the metadata for your agents, the agent run, who said what did the agent do. You can trace back everything from there. I can probably show you a quick run from one of my agents that is using some tools. You know what? Actually, let's build an agent. Let's go to our tools gallery, same place I showed you. Type in search X. So it's going to give us that pretty cool search X tool, and click on this button. Build an agent with this tool. And boom, this is how fast agents get created on Toolhouse. Now we have an instance of that LLM with the tool and we have a name. We can customize this user message with whatever task we want this agent to have. So if I click on this start button, it's going to send this user message that says, help me use X. You can change that start button, go button to whatever you like to showcase from your agents. We're going to cover that next in our videos when we're building real stuff that people want to put their money on. But yeah, this is how fast you build the agent. You find the tool, you click the button, tool is there. I can ask the agent to perform some tasks. So if you guys have anyone up in Twitter you want to stalk, write it down in the chat. I am going to ask my agent, what are last 3 tweets from Elon Musk? This is a classic query. So we're doing some user tweets in this query. Testing catalog. I invest my time at the right place. All right, so we got the last tweets from Elon Musk. We got the date. We got the tweet content. You can ask the agent to do more stuff because it's a default agent we grabbed from the tools. We could just have this conversation going with the agent. Can you give me links to the tweets? And you can keep having this conversation with the agent. All right, we're gonna ask it one more time. Refresh. Return last 3 tweets from Elon Musk with the links to the tweets. That's neat. Nice. We got the post, we got the link, each of them connected to one post from Elon Musk. Now you can go ahead and do even more stuff. Search 5 posts that are trending in Twitter or X about AI keywords like vibe coding or open code, open claw, and you can populate keywords to your agent. And this agent is working without you writing any code, writing down anything, and taking care of how to host this agent. Everything works right off the bat. We're just prompting. And there you go. Now, if you're like, man, how can I really see what the agent is doing? You go to the logs, back to the point we were on. So you go to the logs, you're going to see a bunch of X agent calls with an ID, so everything is unique. You can see the tool call. So the query, just like Lou were mentioning, what is your query to the tool that performs that automation for you? So my query for SearchX was Elon Musk, 3 results, and I can see the agent output. So I can see how much token I'm spending, how much time is it taking, and what is the final output to the agent. I have a lot of conversation, so you can see a lot of things going on in my agent runs. And if you're really knowing what you're doing, you can push all of these logs to somewhere to train your agent or fine tune your agent. But yeah, this is it about connecting tools to the agents to perform some automation. There are tons of tasks while you're in the middle of it. You're like, I can totally make an AI for it. And Toolhouse is the perfect place for you to do that. And last thing I want to show you of the Toolhouse features is schedules. So you can put these agents, like the Twitter agent that I just built. If I have connected this agent to my Gmail, so let's say whenever I run this agent, I would return, get some emails on my inbox. I could put this agent on intervals. So every time at 8 a.m., these agents get automatically run like a daemon, and I get the results without even touching my keyboard. And the way you want to do that is just to go to the create new schedule, select the agent you have. I have 700 agents, so you're going to find your agent from here. Let's say I built a Reddit Karma Gross agent to farm some karma. I can put a cadence on it, so every Tuesday at 8 a.m., I'm going to have this agent do the task for me. This is my agent and AI worker. So my AI worker will work every time at 8 a.m. Simple as that. No writing code, not figuring out anything. Just delivering the AI features that should be delivered. And that's how you do it. That was the last thing I wanted to show you from schedule. All right, how do you guys see this? Are you guys following along with me? I'm going to read the chat. Can we cache agent calls to make them cheaper? You absolutely can, Danielle. That's neat. All right. Let's add a rating for clickbait factor. I love that. Like on road, AI needs guardrails to contain hallucinations. Okay, that was about hallucinations. Louis. All right, so this is it. This is how Toolhouse works. This is the whole platform. We're going to see more tools in the next days. As a matter of fact, we're going to see Gmail tool tomorrow, Notion, Linear. So we're going to cover all of these tools, how you can build a reliable workflow, how much different can we build agents using our words or using Vibras. Because if you use Vibra to build agents, you're going to get a nice template for your agent that has role, goal, fallback strategy, and a very rich prompt. So if you're not even a prompt, so to build agents on Toolhouse, you don't have to be a technical person. You just need to know prompting. And if you don't know prompting, you shouldn't be afraid, you shouldn't be scared, you shouldn't be intimidated, because Vibra has your back. You just talk to the orb, and orb gets it right for you. Vibra got your back. What's the homework for today? That's I'm going to leave that to Lou, but this time I guess we're not doing a lot of assignments. We're going to just offer some hands-on experience so you can share in the Discord.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Iman. I really appreciate that. And for people who I don't understand all the product functionality yet. I don't know exactly how to build yet. Totally fine. We have a whole week, and we're going to make sure that we take you through so everyone feels really confident about what they're going to do, and hopefully leave with a built out, ready to go use case for your business. So the homework for today is we're going to ask people, and we're not doing graded homework this time. This is optional. You're all adults here. You're business owners. We understand that time is precious, but we're going to ask people to go through this AI automation flow, the trigger, the input, the process, the output, and the action. And we're really going to ask you guys to think through that specific to the tooling that you might use. And if possible, actually, to put together any screenshots of the exact services that you're using, being mindful of kind of confidential data. But that will help us a lot if you do want support on building an actual automation flow. So think through, not just in the abstract, but specifically your trigger, your input, your process, your output, and your action. And that's really going to help kind of also codify what task you want to automate. So that's most of the content that we have for today. We want to talk a little bit about, very briefly, monetization and the paid capacity, which is a very new functionality here in Toolhouse. We have allowed and set up infrastructure for automations that work, that get a lot of runs, to monetize themselves for other niches that are similar to the use case that they fix. So if I'm a business owner and I'm working on, let's say auditing my customer service performance, I am probably the perfect person to design a custom agent that does exactly what I need in my business. But I'm not a SaaS founder. I don't want to do software as a service. I don't want to be a tech company. I might just want to collect money for that useful tool that I've made, that again, I'm uniquely positioned to think through without having to launch a whole startup. And so Toolhouse is opening up kind of a marketplace where we act as an intermediary for people who have really good ideas. They have their background knowledge to create a really specific, useful tool, and are able to now monetize that on the Toolhouse platform for customers in that same niche. So something to think about. It's very easy to turn on monetization. We will show you exactly how to do it. But yeah, this is what we're going to be working on. Building out the Toolhouse agent. Everyone by the end of the day should have set up their Toolhouse account, created their account, connected the API key, explored the dashboard, built out that trigger action input flow. And we will be back tomorrow morning to go through what it looks like. So That's what we have today. We're going to open it up to questions now.
All right, we got a question about Twitter. Is it hitting Twitter directly on your cached or Firehose feed? Yes, I would say yes. And we can chat about it on Discord, how exactly this works right after the stream. So if you guys are in our Discord server, you're going to notice me on the chat voice channel. So if you need help with Q&A, something we didn't cover in this live stream, you don't have to wait until tomorrow. We got your back. Make sure you join our Discord. We talk all day about AI and how things work. Can we talk about monetization? Can we talk about the ways we improve monetization, waitlist status? Lou?
Yeah, I don't think that we have a waitlist status right now. We are opening up monetization for creators like you who are building agents specific to their niche and their use case. Do we have the marketplace infrastructure set up for you to have a huge number of paying customers right off the bat? No. Are you able to monetize it now without any significant verification process or waitlist status? Yes, we are ready to rock and roll. I think that's kind of the difference is Toolhouse is gaining a lot of momentum very quickly. We have so many people onboarding and joining our ecosystem. And so we are trying to provide that structure now so that people can, instead of even having to go through the process of building agents, just choose from really, really well-built, tailor-made custom agents that are made by other people in their exact niche. So we will, if you want to stick around for a second, Daniel, we can show you exactly where on Toolhouse you enable monetization. It's probably easier to do it after you've actually built an agent. It's part of the flow. After you design an agent, build an agent, it'll actually ask you the question about enabling monetization, and you should be able to see it. We can also take you through, especially building with Vibra, monetization.
Yeah, of course. I can actually show a demo, Danielle.
Okay.
Let's do it. Let's see how it works. Oh, nice, you built it. It says I am 4,000 on the wait list. The more you monetize, the more you build, and the more you just work on Toolhouse, you get higher. So you grind on the wait list, if it makes sense. I was going to show you the demo, but you figured it out already. All right. Do you guys want me to show you a demo of Toolhouse, how it works? See another demo. How do you guys feel? Are you curious about how Toolhouse works, agentic use cases, something to cover for your need? The one that I most used, the agents. But yeah, we have like a lot of agents that we use. One of them is to find leads for businesses. That's really popular to what I personally use. We have another one to scrape Amazon products. So you can do Toolhouse agents with that. You can use the describe image tool that we have. You can work with it like an OCR or flag or label images. So this agent works with the image URL. You pass an image to the agent and you can extract the text. You can extract, and flag it depending on what you do daily to day. So people in e-commerce use that a lot. You can have like page a screenshot tool. So you can build an agent that's screenshots on Polymarket for you every day at 8 if you're into those stuff. It really depends on your use case, what you do with the agents. Like the SearchX tool is kind of like a premium tool that we kind of ran the season 1 certifications on. Do you have an agent that helps with affiliate outreach on TikTok shop or Shopify collabs, Lou?
We have TikTok shop like integration? I don't think we have right now.
We do have Instagram, but
Yeah.
TikTok, I'm not so sure. You can ask for us for integrations in our Discord server. Say like, hey, I want to use this tool. You guys don't have it. and we make it available to you super fast. Yes, demo, please. Nice. All right,
All
let's do
right.
a demo.
Yeah, let's do a demo really fast and then let's let people go. I know everyone has a big day, and it's a Monday, but this is the exact kind of stuff that we're going to be going through as the week moves forward. So I'm really glad that you guys have such organic interest.
Screenshots of like agent or what? Okay, I'm sensing you're confused about screenshot, and this gives us the right approach. So I'm going to talk to Vibra, build an agent that grabs screenshots from websites. And this is how it works. Hey, Vibra. Hey, let's build an agent that uses the screenshot tool to grab a screenshot from sites for me. Can you build that for me? So yeah, we're using Vibra. I know a tool. No, use the screenshot tool you have, the Anchor screenshot tool. All right, it's picking up the right tool. All right. So we built the agent. I'm going to minimize the agent so I can enable monetization. So Vibra. Hey Vibra, please enable monetization for my agent. Make it $5.99 per month and 7 days of trial period. Can you do that for me? All right, we're moving on to the next stages. If you notice on the blue bar on the low part here, you can see plan, build, monetization. All right, Weber says monetize at $5.99 and 7 days of trial. It's like a nice lasagna you made and you're like, I'm gonna offer it to people for like 7 days, then I'm gonna start charging you. Like, you want this lasagna? Pay for it. So yeah, that was an Italian example for you. Not really. Okay, so we're done with the agent. Click done. Beautiful. Agent got built. And if you click on agents, you're going to see your website, screenshot grabber, enabled monetization for $5.99. So green label tells you it has monetization enabled. And if you're really skeptical, you can click on show details to see what the agent is doing. So agent details, this is something we didn't really want to go dive deep into it. But you have a title for your agent. So the agent name, the user message, the blue link that we're going to cover in the next live streams, and the system prompt. So this is all you need to create agents. You need to just define the goal with your language, define any tools or MCP servers, and your agent is done. So if you read out here, you're going to see this agent has a role, a website screenshot agent, the goal to capture high quality screenshots of a public web page URL provided by the user. And there is a step-by-step instructions to use the Anchor underline screenshot tool. And this was built with Vipra. So Vipra, from that messy conversation, human-like conversation, picked up this system prompt, enabled monetization for $5.99 with 7 days of trial period. Vibra connected the right tool. So we're seeing Anchor screenshot tool. And you can add more tools. So if that's the case, sometimes Vibra misses to connect the right tools. If you don't see your tools right there, you can edit with Vibra or connect the right tool with hand. There are some mistakes when you work with LLMs in life, so you can fix that quickly from there. In this case, Vibra got it right. We're not worried. I don't have any agent files. I don't want to enable RAG for my agent, so I'm not going to drop anything. But if you want to drop a PDF, drop a structured or unstructured data file, you can just pass it here. A PDF file, Excel file, text file, you should be fine here. And finally, I have this API access, so I can talk to this AI agent. If you're not familiar with the API, use ChatGPT or read our docs. So this is the docs. This is how you can perform that curl request, how you can talk to the endpoint, what are the headers, so how the Toolhouse agent works. You just need to click the blue link here to understand how it works. All right, let's take a screenshot. So we built the agent, Vibra connected everything. Sounds cool. Let's see if the agent works. I don't have any specific website to capture the screenshot from, but I'm going with Polymarket. Please grab a screenshot from Polymarket now. Product hunt. Nice. I will try that next. All right, it's asking for a direct URL. So product hunt, boop, 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 and copy that, paste it here. All right, are you guys following me? What is Polymarket? It's just a website people use to bet on things. It's gambling. Here's a screenshot. So our agent served us a link.
It like allows you to place bets on arbitrage like real world opportunities, but it is like a form of gambling and it wouldn't necessarily be. We're not recommending Polymarket to our users.
All right, we got loose deal with Polymarket.
You should not, let's not, I don't even think we would necessarily pursue a Toolhouse integration with Polymarket right now for multiple regulatory concerns. So we'll just like.
Let's use product hunt. All right, so we got a screenshot. Mule Run is trending today, Glam AI. So yeah, you have built an agent without writing any code to grab a screenshot for you.
Homan, I really appreciate the extra time that we've taken to do the demo. This is incredible. I do want to be mindful of people's schedules, and I'm wondering if we could pick this up again tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Because we do have these blocked throughout this week.
All right. Perfect.
Wonderful. Guys, thank you so much for chiming in. Join our Discord, ask us questions, use our free labor, let us build shit for you. We want to create the best use cases possible. And thank you for being a part of it. We really appreciate it. And we're honestly just excited to learn from you guys, our users, to try to make our tool better, make it more useful, make it easier and more intuitive to integrate. But for now, everyone have an amazing Monday. And thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank you, guys. Have a nice day. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.